Welcome to the AI Automations for Business podcast. We're your hosts, Katie and Noel, and we'll be discussing how you can use AI for your business along with the latest news, updates, and automations to help you stay ahead of the curve, allowing you to grow and scale your business more efficiently. Please be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. Hi, hello, I'm Katie, and as always, I've got Noel here with me. Hi, Noel.
Hello.
So, something exciting happened last week.
Very excited. Definitely for me, anyway.
Yeah. We attended the Make.com conference over in Munich.
That was awesome. Great event. Yeah, been looking forward to it for a while.
Yeah. And they gave us lots of updates, things that are coming out next year.
Yeah, quite a few of those, yeah.
Which we will talk about. We were able to have a play with some of the features. We had a really interesting talk from Meta all about AI ads.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Yeah. We had an interesting talk from Canva.
Yeah.
We got some great goodies from Typeform.
Yeah, gotta love a moleskin notepad.
Yeah, love that. Love that for some freebies. So, yeah, and all whilst in Munich, which is a really awesome city, I think.
It is, yeah. Yeah. I mean, last time I went to last year's event and I didn't really see much of Munich. I arrived in the dark. I went to the event from 9:30 till 10 p.m. And then, I flew home first thing the next day.
Yeah.
So I didn't see much of it. But yeah, no, it's a really nice place.
Yeah. I made sure that we got to see some of it.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so no, as you are so excited about all of, what happened last week at the Make conference, do you want to talk about the features and updates that they talked about that are actually available from today? And then we'll maybe talk about the upcoming features.
Yes, the upcoming are probably the most exciting. I wouldn't say there's anything super exciting in this first bit, but there are some really cool updates that will make life a lot easier within Make. So what I've done is if you go, we'll leave a link to their website where they list everything that they talked about. Most of those features are already available and have been available for months. So we're not going to include those in this podcast. We're just going to do the brand new stuff that was announced.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So the first one, which quite a lot of people got quite excited about, was the ability when you're in your Make scenario and you click run once, the data goes through, it does its thing, it ends, finished, great. But you might, what people have been asking for is, what if I want to run that particular thing again using the exact same data? And now we can do that. So right next to your Run Now button, there's a little down arrow. You can click on that and then you can select previous runs that you've done and then send that exact same data through the scenario. So if you're testing anything, you're tweaking it, you can use the exact same data. Yeah. You still use the same amount of credits and things like that, but really, really helpful. And as part of that, they've added in a new module as well. So you can, it's called the scenario custom name, I think it's called. It's within the scenarios modules. And what you can do in there is at the very start, or after, I'd say probably about second or third module, you'll put it in, and you can input data into there, and then basically that names that particular run. So if you've got like a CRM, you could put in the company name that went through or the person's name. Yeah. So if there's any errors, when you go in the history, it tags it really clearly. It says, well, this person's name or that particular field that went through from my database or wherever, that's what went wrong. So, it makes it so much easier for you to find out what went wrong without having to open the scenario and then click through it all and figure out what was going on. So yeah, really cool feature.
Yeah, and really a lot of time saved as well with this feature as well, I think.
Definitely, yeah. I've already used it already.
Oh, great. And how did you find it?
Oh, yeah, really, really good. So yeah, it was, you can, with the, where you can run on existing data, it's really good if you're like testing a particular scenario. So I build a bit, run it, get it so far, and then I can then build a bit more and then do the run again on existing data. And yeah, it just makes life so much easier. Especially if you've got like where you're watching like something in Airtable. Say if you click the button, then you'd be like, well, there's nothing else has happened since, so it returns no results. There's been no updates, and it's like, well, yeah, that's not particularly helpful. But with the run again, we can get that information again without having to do anything else, which is really awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So the next one that's kind of linked to this as well is you can replay these scenarios. So let's say we have an error. What we can do is, you'll go to the history tab for your scenario, and then basically it will list it all there so you can see which runs passed, which ones failed. And now they've got like a little replay button. So you can go in, make any changes. There might be an error that you've put in there or something's not quite right. So you could fix it and then hit the replay button, and it sends that information through for that particular run. And then if it passes, great. So yeah, that makes life, again, so much easier.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised it's took this long to get that sort of feature in, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, really, really awesome little features there. Yeah, they're kind of hidden. You have to go and look for those a little bit, but
okay.
Yeah.
Where do people find
So obviously the run now is next to the run now button. But yeah, the replay scenario is on the history tab, and there's a little, like the refresh circular arrow. There's that in the very, very far right of each run in the table kind of thing. So yeah, that one can be a little tricky to find.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah. The next really cool one they've got is the cool sub scenarios, and what that is a scenario module, and basically what we can do is a bit like what we can do with agents, where you can create scenarios as tools. You can basically put in these cool sub scenario modules to go off and supply data into another scenario in Make, and then it will sit there and wait, and then when it gets the information back, it can then pass that on for the rest of the scenario. So it's a bit like a tools module in an agent, but it's within like a normal workflow. Yeah. So that's quite good. I haven't used that yet, but yeah, it looks pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that one, we've got the scenario rate limits.
Yeah.
So they showed this as part of the webhook module, and basically what this means is if you've got something in your scenario that could only run X amount of times per minute, you can set that limit within the scenario now, so you don't always have to worry about error handlers and things like that. You can just set it at the very start, and then it will then, hopefully you won't run into any errors with rate limits. So yeah, again, nice to have.
Yeah, that is a nice to have for sure.
Yeah, and I think probably the best one out of this list, and this is the last one that's available today, is within the AI Agents Builder. There is a modules tool. So let's say we wanted to, connect in one module from a particular application into an agent. We'd have to create a sub scenario. We'd have to add that module in and then link it back to the agent with the scenarios module. That we don't have to do that anymore. We can just find that one module that you want from the list and then just add it into your agent. And what's really cool about this as well is when it loads up the data. So I used it just to test it out on Perplexity to go off and do like detailed research and things like that on the internet. So it came up and it was like, well, do you want to fill out the user prompts and things like that? And I was like, I haven't really got time for that. And there's a little checkbox and it says, let the AI decide. And you click that box and you can do that on pretty much any field within the module. And yeah, the AI agent will take a look at that and go, well, okay, this is the information I'm going to provide to that based on the user request. And it goes off and does it. So yeah, speeds things up no end.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
It got a good response as well, that one, didn't it? At the conference?
It did, yeah. Because it was kind of cumbersome to go off and create a scenario just to call one module. Yeah, it did seem a bit silly. But yeah, thankfully that's in there and it's working today, which is good.
Yeah. So they also announced some updates that are coming, but aren't available right now. Some are going to be available soon. Some are going to be early 2026. Some are going to be like, we think, summer of 2026.
Yeah.
So shall we talk through what some of those updates are and when we can expect them as well?
Yeah. The first one on my list is available soon. That's their exact wording. So I don't know what they mean by soon. Yeah. I guess it's not early 2026. That I guess it's going to be by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So
that was
yeah.
the impression that I got from them when they were talking.
Yeah.
I think maybe next month. But who knows?
Yeah. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
But the one that's available soon is going to be the scenario sharing. So within the scenario builder, there'll be a little share button in the top right. And what you're allowed to do now is, you can click on that button and you'll be able to share that scenario as a URL, to anybody that you wish. You can then you could post it online. I think they had social media bits where you could post it straight to LinkedIn or X and things like that.
That was the example they were given, wasn't it, at the conference?
Yeah. It was really, really cool how it works, because if anyone then clicks on that link, it then opens up their scenario builder, and then you have that scenario up and running and ready. Obviously, you won't have the original connections for any apps. You would have to then create those connections to your accounts and things like that. So yeah, there's a bit of editing like you would expect. So yeah, your data's safe if you share. They made that point very clear.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's going to be a really awesome way to share things, because at the moment to share it, you have to export a JSON file and then send that to somebody in an email. Then they've got to then import it.
Quite long-winded, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not easy to share, I would say.
No.
Right now.
Yeah, I also seem to find that if you import any blueprints, sometimes it gets a bit confused with the connections, and that can throw all kinds of errors, and then you can't save the scenario because of the errors. And it's so yeah, this gets rid of all of that, thankfully.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
So that one is well, they said it's coming in.
Should be this year.
Yeah, 2025. So
yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on their LinkedIn account and see when it comes out.
Yeah. Okay, Brilliant. So the next update that is coming, so this one is due early 2026.
Yeah, so I would say Q1. So let's say any time before March, I would assume. That's usually when they seem to bring stuff out, is usually February, March. So these are the if else and merge modules. Now that might sound a bit confusing, but how they explained it was where you have a router within a scenario that can branch out through different legs. And there's no way, if you want to, at the end, to then merge all those legs together and then have like the scenario continually run on. You, at the minute, you have to do the set variable and then get variable. So you would set it on the first leg and then get it on the second leg if that's the data you need later on. It's a bit of a faff, and obviously you're using operations and things like that to do that sort of stuff. But the merge module is basically the reverse of a router, so it's many to one, which is brilliant. So you can get all of that information, condense it all into their one line after to continue on. So yeah, that would have been really helpful when I was doing my partner certification. I used a lot of
make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used a lot of set and get variables in there. But yeah, if I had the merge, it would have made life so much easier.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, there was a lot
year.
of yeah, hopefully, yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of excitement for that one. A lot of cheering, lots of clapping for that one. There was a lot of people who've been waiting for that.
Yeah, people loved that, didn't they?
They did, yeah. I'd say it's one of the biggest cheers and excitements from the entire event.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they peaked too soon. I don't know. That was one of the earlier ones. Maybe people have, had run out of energy.
I don't know. I like. It's obviously clearly something that people want, and Maker was really good at responding to feedback. Like really for example, when we were talking to Merrick from Make at the conference, he was asking for feedback, wasn't he? And we were like, saying actually it would be really good if like when you went to your account and it had errors, that it was also like color coded, so like almost like a traffic light system. So like this is like a minor error, all the way to like this is like eating through all of your credit, or this is completely like broken, nothing's working, like it's not happening.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, great, like fantastic. So actually it'd be really interesting to see if they do implement that, but they just love feedback. So I think the reason why that got such a huge cheer is because of what they have had from customers, and that has been the feedback. So yeah,
because there's like N8N, they can do this already. I think Zapier can do it as well. So yeah, it's been one of those things. It's like, come on, surely one day.
And I think that's why it got a big cheer, because people were like, finally.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So the next update that's coming, so we think that's going to be coming out of summer 2026.
Yes, basing this off of the release period for the grid. So there is a current waitlist for this particular feature, and usually that waitlist gets opened in like March, maybe a little earlier, and then they release it later in the summer. But this one is going to be really interesting for anybody that gets stuck or is very, very new to the platform, not really sure where to start. And this is an agent called Maia, which is, I have to say, was brilliant in the demo.
I agree. This one I thought was great, because I was thinking of like people who come and join like our membership and they are brand new to Make, and they want to be able to create these automations, but they kind of see that blank page and they feel like a bit overwhelmed, or it's a little bit intimidating, or they're so worried that they're going to set something up and it's going to be completely wrong, or it's not going to work, and then clients are going to be like, why isn't this working? So I feel like Maia is going to open up Make to so many more people. And I also think it's going to give people who are new to automations a lot more confidence to create them.
Definitely, yeah. It's all comes down to, like, you got vibe coding, where you can just ask it in plain text. So this is their version of vibe automation. So
yeah,
the demo they showed was like they'd asked it to create a scenario where it was taking information from Typeform. It was doing a bit of, adding it into a Google Sheet. There was a bit of AI in there in the middle. I can't remember what it was doing now, but and basically the agent then got to work within the builder. So there was like a little window with the agent, so you could see what you'd asked for. You could see its reasoning and what it was doing. And then on the right-hand side, you had the builder, and you could see it adding those modules in. So it was like, right, okay, well, you've talked about Typeform. So that's going to be the first one that, like, added it into the builder, and things like that. And then it started to then build it all out. But what I found that was really amazing was the point where it's like, well, what connections do you want me to use for this? Which accounts do you want me to use? Do you just want to use the generic ones that you've already got? Is this going to be something new? Are you building it for someone else?
Yeah.
And there was like little quick tip buttons kind of thing. You just could be like, yes, just use my accounts or whatever. Or it was like a no, and then it would take you through, it would basically handhold you through the process to getting everything connected. So it did it all in like really, really basic steps, linked all of the data bit by bit, and handholded the user through the entire process, which I thought was brilliant.
I thought it was brilliant. And the fact that you could just use like plain language, it's like, I want to create like this, and I'm taking information like from Typeform and I want it to go on a Google Sheet, and then like it kind of then goes, like takes over and go, okay, like what do you, okay, so like Typeform's the first one, and it's like, what information do you want from Typeform to like Google Sheets and stuff like that, and then you can like just type your response, which I just thought was so like easy. And I just feel like this is going to really, get rid of those barriers for people who want to do automations, but they feel a bit overwhelmed by the tech.
Definitely, yeah.
A very good move by Make.
Yes. Yeah. So there are other platforms that are doing something similar to N8, and they've got one out in their, I think it's in early alpha access at the minute, but that doesn't go anywhere near as far. It will build out the automation, but it won't configure anything. Whereas I think, Make have done the really good thing and gone, well, if you're using this, you probably want help all the way through every part of the process. So we're going to incorporate all of that in there. And even within like the chat window, say you connected Typeform, and then on your account, you could have like 10 forms that you've already created. So it's like, it comes up with a drop-down box that says, well, which one do you want me to use? And then you just select it on the drop-down box. So, well, that one, please. And then you go, sure. And then off it goes, connects it all in. And then from that, it gets all the data and the fields, and then it moves it on to the next stage. So really awesome.
Really awesome. That would have got the biggest cheer from me.
Yeah, definitely.
At this point, I didn't know we were cheering. I didn't realize we were cheering at this point. So
whooping and hollering. There's also a really other cool bit as well. Is not only will it help you create automations in the builder, it also has access to your entire account. So they then showed it at work on the dashboard. So they showed it where there was a particular scenario had basically burnt through a ton of credits. And then Maia was there going, oh, hello, might want to take a look at this.
Yeah.
This is.
Did she actually say that? Ooh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah. I hope you can program a persona. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? I'll add that to the feedback. But yeah, it was like, you should look at this. This is abnormal behavior on your account. You probably need to look at this particular scenario, and it gave a link so that you could then click on it and then open that scenario and see what was going on. So yeah, it's not only is it just in the builder, it's everywhere apparently, which is really awesome. I don't know how we're paying for it though. Obviously, they didn't mention anything about that.
No, they didn't.
No.
So yeah, that'd be
TBD.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next update that isn't available right now, but again, we think summer 2026, is the new AI agents.
Yes. So already at the moment we've already got AI agents, but that's kind of like built in its own separate area. Once you then add it into a scenario, you have to go back to the configuration page section to alter the prompts or add new tools. It's not very easy to use. There's a lot of back and forth. But with this new one, you can build the agents within the scenario builder. So it looks, if anyone's ever seen N8N, it looks very similar to that. So you have your agent module, and then underneath you've then got links where you can say, well, I want to add a tool, and you can then add a module. You could add a sub-scenario, which has got more complicated things going on. And basically it all just hangs underneath the agent module, which is really awesome. It just means you can build them so much quicker.
Yeah.
Which is ideal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But they are two separate things though. So if you've built agents currently, and these new agents, they're not the same thing. So I was talking to one of the developers, and he was like, well, that one's agent, and these are agents. And I was like, right, okay, well, that does just removing the S or adding the S doesn't really make it anything different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, they work completely differently. They're separate entities and things like that. So if you want to, migrate from what you already have to the visual builder, then you're going to have to build everything again.
Okay.
And things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And for these new updates, we've requested better access.
Yes.
And you think we'll get access from March?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. Like Maia, they said, was very, very early development.
Yeah, because they didn't really show us that much, did they? They just showed us that like walkthrough. But like even like on when you can, like, they call it the playground, where you can go onto their Macs and play around with things. Like they had like nothing available. So I think very, very early development.
Yes, they did have the new agents. They had that available, so I had a little click around with that. So that might come a bit sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Maia, it's a bit like the grid last year. They were like, this is what it looks like. This is very, very early. It might not look like this going forward. It might change. So yeah, really awesome to see. But with these new agents, they're also going to bring in a library as well. So if there's like common agents that they see people are creating on the platform, then they're going to have the ability to, where you can be like, well, I want like a sales agent. And he goes, oh, we just download our sales agent here and input that and then configure it. So it gives you something to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is great for people who are like just starting out and trying to get used to the platform and everything like that. So again, it's breaking down those boundaries, isn't it? And like getting more people to use the platform.
Definitely.
Which is very clever. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There wasn't any. I mean, that's all of the updates. So
Yes.
there was one thing actually that I do want to very quickly mention. They kind of glossed over it very quickly because there wasn't really any updates to the grid. So that was obviously the big thing for last year.
Yeah.
They've made some updates, a few tweaks here and there, nothing groundbreaking. But one thing I did note down that they mentioned was that they would like to have the grid as like one of the starting points for building your scenario. So not only is it just viewing everything that's connected in your account, but you'll be able, to start creating scenarios within the grid, which I thought was, that was quite interesting. Yeah, that was something that there was mentioned very quickly, and there was like, next slide, moving on.
No,
So, yeah.
can't
I
say
made a
anymore.
note of
No
that.
questions. Oh, I've run out of time.
Yeah. Let's bring out the next person.
Yeah. Just shut that down straight away.
Exactly, yeah.
We've got no more information on that. Sorry.
No. Hopefully soon. Who knows?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What was your biggest takeaway from the Make conference?
So I think the biggest takeaway is probably they're moving more towards like the ease of use for the platform. So I would already say out of all of them, it's probably based on our last episode, if you haven't listened to that already. It's probably one of the most easier, user-friendly platforms to use, and I think with these updates, it's only going to get easier.
Yeah.
So the barrier to entry is going to be far lower, which is really awesome. But like we said with the feedback, who knows where it's going to go?
Yeah.
Someone's going to have a bright idea and they'll go, "Wow, that's amazing!" And then all of a sudden, it's there. And you're like, didn't even think that was possible. But...
Yeah.
Yeah. What about yours? What was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, I think as well, it's breaking down those barriers and getting more people to use Make. And I really love actually how they haven't just ignored people who want to come and start using Make, that, they're not just taking care of their current users, but they're also thinking about future users as well. And I really liked that, because I feel like Make look after their users so well, and they're so open for feedback, and even if it's negative feedback as well as positive feedback, they're always so open. So I just feel like that they currently look after their current users so well, and the fact that now they're like trying to bring in these people who are new to automations. And I think that just makes us realize that AI and automations are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're going to be such a huge part of our business lives. The fact that they're investing all of this new technology into getting more people on board and to use the platform. So I think that was my biggest takeaway. It was just like, this is just going to become bigger and bigger and bigger, so really interesting. And I really liked the talk about Meta. I love a talk about Meta. The speaker was talking about like the AI generated ads and the AI wearables, so like the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. I just find that all really interesting. So
we're going to get more and more AI than we bargained for, aren't we? I think in the next year.
It was quite funny, because the day after the conference, like, we were obviously doing some sightseeing around Munich. And you had Google Maps open on your phone, and you kept having to look down. I said, "Oh, you see, with those new Meta glasses that are coming out next year, with the bracelet thing." They don't call it a bracelet though, do they?
Yeah, I can't remember what they called it now. No, but with the clicky bracelet thing.
Yeah. Sorry, Meta, for butchering what is actually called. I was like, you could have had your Meta Ray-Bans on, and you could have had Google Maps, like just guiding us, and you could have just been walking along. And I was like, maybe when we're here next year, that's what's going to be navigating us.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I could have them on for the presentation next year for Make, and then it could be going off and being my note taker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say those were definitely my biggest takeaways.
Yeah. It's exciting to see where it's all going to go. I think that's
I think so.
Really looking forward to it.
Yeah. And as always, we are putting more information into our membership over on School AI Business Club. And obviously, as soon as we get access to the new updates, we will be, sharing that with our community as well. But as always, we will leave the links below. If you've got any questions, if there's anything that you would like us to cover, then just let us know. You can find us on LinkedIn. We also have our LinkedIn group. Again, we'll link that below for you. And we will catch you next time for another episode very soon.